So as I say, this is Samantha Jane. Hi Sarah. Hi Vanessa. Lovely to see you all tuning in. How are you doing? Did last week's help you? Let me know. If you are watching on replay, then obviously I would love you to use the hashtag replay and drop me a comment with that. Hi Lisa. If you are watching on YouTube, then drop me a comment. It's the last chance to be the winner of this month's free reading for dropping a comment on the YouTube channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Lovely to see so many of you here in the Vibe Tribe. Hi Emma, hi Lynn, sending all of you positive vibes this evening. Right then, shall we begin? So, as I say, it is the 31st of January. Hi Jill, hi Kathy. So, and it is quite a big day today because we are into Mercury retrograde today. Two key words that can make a lot of people a bit fearful, but they are powerful words. And whilst I understand and appreciate that Mercury retrograde can be challenging, it isn't so much so with this one. Not for certainly the people here in my tribe, I'd like to think. So this is the most influential, if I can say the word, energy this week. It is the energy of Mercury retrograde. And it's all about changing how we think. Hi Robert, hi Mantha. All about changing how we think. The universe is asking us to step forwards into this new world with a new way of thinking, a new way of being, and it is very much about what we would call the spiritual way of living, the spiritual way of being with other people. And it's all about the I am. It's about the bigger picture. It's about other people. It's about coming together and community and all of that and helping other people rather than all about you. So if you are still sat at the baseline chakra energy and everything is about you, then yes, you are going to struggle with this Mercury retrograde. In fact, you're going to struggle with February because it is what the whole of February is about, is this change of spiritual thinking. This is a time as well for not wanting to conform. So watch for that energy creeping in as well. And it's also about wanting to break free from limits and restrictions. Now, obviously, we're all sat at home. So I get that. I get why that vibe would be here. But it's not just about external limitations. This Mercury retrograde period, so this week and next week, and in fact the whole of February, is going to be filled with opportunity to challenge your mind and your beliefs and how you are imprisoning yourself with what you think, what you see, and what you believe. So this one is about changing your perspective and changing your perspective to have a much more, as I could say, we identify it as a spiritual perspective on this world. Is that resonating? Are you picking that up already coming in the build up to this? Hi Whitney, hi Trace. So it's basically about losing the limitations that society has put upon you, that your own mind is still putting upon you. And there is this importance to look at the choices that you are making and just be sure that your soul is at ease with these choices. Hi Anne. Otherwise you're going to struggle through this one. But on the whole, this should not be a challenge as much as they can be, because it's very much a softer one, and it is about that changing to being a more spiritual, more open being as you walk this earth. Now, as always in the Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be telling you don't dwell. You know, Mercury has a habit of pulling us backwards to come forwards in a new way. Some of us have to go back, perhaps connect with people from the past to allow healing, to allow a letting go, to have a realization. Now, we don't have to do that in person. We can do that at memory state. We can do that in thinking state. We can do it from seeing photographs. Things will be put in front of you, connecting to your past, to show you what this Mercury retrograde is asking you to let go of. Some of you on a work and business aspect will be going backwards, back to old things you did, old projects and bringing them forwards into the new by giving them new light and new energy. Some of you may need to redevelop, if that's the right word, improve upon old skills in order to come forwards as well. You do need to watch for communication in this one because it's all about relationships in February. The whole energy for February is relationships. So because of that, with this Mercury retrograde coming into play as well, you do need to be very careful in your communication. Evening Pauline, evening Trace. So and Sharon, it is all about making sure that email got sent. Making sure you sent the text message to the right person. That will help. And you know, text messages, phone calls, emails, one, check and double check they actually went, but also check they went to the right person. And then of course, just be careful and mindful about what you are writing in those messages, especially if you're going over the past, especially if you're going over old ground. Just be mindful of that. Now, tomorrow there is this restlessness that is going to kick in. And again, this is a huge part of the whole of February's energy. Okay, now there could be the potential for frustration, and this is going to really dominate in relationships as well, predominantly your intimate relationship if you are in one, or family members, friendships and work connections. So all the relationship houses could see you have a potential to be frustrated and to have a restlessness because they're not fulfilling you. So be mindful of. We can even have some sexual tension tomorrow, so just be aware of that. We have to watch tomorrow with the ego. So we have to watch, because it's Mercury retrograde energy, how we are communicating, and just making sure that we are not communicating purely from an egotistical point of view, because that can bring in some challenges this week, whether on the receiving end of other people's ego or whether it is us giving it out. So just be aware of that as well, because this is a time for cooperation. Tomorrow is about cooperation. So that could be you collaborating in work. It could be business partnerships as well. But it's about working together tomorrow, rather than wanting to do your own thing totally and stand in your own corner, stand in your own space. When we get to Wednesday, just to warn you guys, plans may change suddenly. All right, and because of that, it all kind of links to responsibility somehow, and that will vary between everyone watching. But it's about that battle of responsibility versus the sense of freedom that, again, the energies this week are drawing out of us, wanting us to be freer spirits, wanting us to express ourselves more. But of course, we all have responsibilities, so be aware of that. It's very much about putting energy into creative problems. If you are struggling with that, restlessness, put it into creative projects some way, somehow. Okay, and that can be everything from the crafting end of the scale to, I don't know, writing programs, writing courses, the whole thing, artwork, whatever is your creative space. If you struggle with the restlessness, put that energy into that and let it be a driving force. Excuse me, but just be aware that from Wednesday, there is also this need to compromise. And again, that's where that struggle can kick in and be a bit of a challenge this week. So if that is you, if you're already feeling it, type me the word restless in the comments and let me know. I'm interested to see how many of you are already feeling that energy coming in. It is a big week this week with relationships, as I say, and it is for the whole of the month of February. And what is really key is the connection between the word relationship and the word or the feeling of freedom. So the questions to be asking yourself this week is anyone controlling you? Is your relationship, are you being controlled in your relationship? Are you feeling smothered in your relationship? And a lot of you will need to ask yourselves, or have an opportunity that makes you have to ask them. When I say opportunity, I mean a situation, let's be honest, that will make you have to question yourself. is this relationship healthy? And if the answer, your first boing answer to that is no, I would encourage you to pay attention to that. Of course, human nature is, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It'll go away, it'll fade, it'll change, it'll disappear, all right? But if your first answer is no, then you're going to need to do some work on that relationship or on getting out of that relationship through the month of February. Does that make sense? Did I explain that clearly enough? If you're single, I have to say, lovelies, if you are single this month, you are going to be attracted to the bigger, larger than life, more eccentric-y kind of people with energy, people who are high vibing. Know that, all right? We do also have to watch, because of that restlessness, watch for overspending. Does that help you, lovelies? Let me know in the comments if that is already resonating with you. Drop me a comment. So I'm going to switch over to tarot now. You know my love for tarot. I do have a tarot course starting in February. It's online. It's a group course on Zoom. You would have access to it for 12 months afterwards. So if you are interested in me teaching you tarot, then let me know, drop me a message, and I will send you the link for more information about that. Now, as always, I'm sat in the UK, so I legally have to inform you that readings are for entertainment purposes only. All right, so just be aware of that. Some of this will resonate with you, some of it will not. I read for everybody watching, so I can help as many people as possible. All right, that is my mission on these lives, these free lives, is to just reach out and help as many of you as I can. So therefore, some of this will resonate with you. God, my throat. Some of you, it may not, or it may do later in the week. So don't forget, you can come back into the group and check up on that. All right. So yes, there are a lot of conversations to be had this week about what we are building. What are we building? What are we creating? What are we doing? And there are unexpected changes to come in this week. I've got that again through the tarot as well. And there is this need to get very comfortable very, very quickly with those changes that are coming in. Because off the back of that change, there will be somewhere in your world a decision, an announcement, and a new path to take. Especially if it connects to creativity and being in flow, especially if it connects to helping the masses, the you know what I mean, the planetary energies, creative energy, and the ascension process, and just moving everything forwards. If you are helping people in that work, or you're drawn to, then this week may present you with the opportunity to do just that. So be aware of that. We do have to watch, though, for those of you who struggle with anxiety, for wanting to know the ins and outs of a duck's arse on something. Watch for that. You're not gonna have your answers. You're not going to have your answers. I just feel as if someone watching this is going over and over old ground. There is a need instead to put the challenges behind you. Recognize you are older and wiser now. Take the knowledge and run. Don't overanalyze. Don't overthink. There is nothing more to think about this. What there is the need for you to rest, recover, and then come up, rising like a shining star to do more good in this world, because all of this year, that is what everything is going to pull you to do. So Whitney can take all of that. And Trace. Nice to see your comments. So be aware in messaging and communication. Again, watch for being overly defensive. That may be the ego, because you may miss out on opportunities that are being presented to you. You may not see them because you've gone into this defense position, and we need to watch for that. Does that make sense? So just be mindful of that as communication comes in. When it comes to work and business, there are beginnings here for many people watching this that you are going to love, or you are beginning something that you already love, and it's great, but it's in work and it's in business, and there's this realization this week for a lot of people, because of that restless soul energy that Mercury retrograde is bringing in. There is a lot of realizations this week for a lot of people, in the next few weeks in fact, that you've got to do what you love. because that's the key. That is your key to abundance, because you can't sit doing 9 to 5 doing something you hate, which is a negative energy, and expect to create a positive life. So if you are doing a job you don't enjoy, see it for what it is. It's financing the things that you love, and put your energy and focus in the things that you love. See its purpose and love that role for giving you that opportunity. I hope you understand what I mean. But many of you as well in business or in your work aspect are going to need to take control this week and start to bring something together. All the aspects, I know I'm doing it in my business already, so I know this resonates with me. All your aspects have got to come together now for this new way of being and this new way forwards. And you're going to love it if you will just take control and bring it all together to work for you, so that life and the universe can work for you instead of working against the universal energies. Let me know if that resonates. Now, when it comes to love and relationships, and yes, this can be intimate relationships, but it can also be about, work colleagues, family, friends, neighbours. Who else is there? Siblings, family. I think that comes under family. Oh, I've got hiccups. Who is that? But there is this need to put some stuff behind you that involves other people. And it doesn't feel like one person, it feels like a collective, it feels like a group of people, all right? So it is about putting that behind you, all right? And it is about being very black and white, so that your emotions and therefore your ego doesn't ride with that and move it forwards. There is a need to be black and white in your dealings, and just know that no matter what other people may say, that you are watching this, you are making these choices in a balanced way. You are making the right decisions. Now, those decisions may involve other people. The decisions you make this week may be to restore some balance somewhere. That could be your work-home life balance. I know we're all struggling, to be perfectly honest, at least here in the UK, all right? But there is this need to recognize this week that you need to be black and white, and you need to make some decisions that involve or would impact other people, and it just is what it is. It's kind of that energy when it comes to it. Now, in terms of spiritual and personal growth, again, don't look backwards, look forwards. We have to keep bringing that into the forefront to get you focused on victory, on moving forwards, because that is what we need you to do right now. We being the collective, all right? It is about victories. It's about taking action that is in alignment with what feels right to you, all right? And it's about having faith. But if you spend too long looking at the past and everything you've walked through to get to this point, then you're going to miss your opportunity for that victory. And again, that will be another spiritual learning curve, another lesson. You understand? So again, this week, lots of beginnings, lots of opportunities in the midst of it all. But what I would say to you is really powerful to do this week and for the rest of February, is to remember that every choice, life choice that is presented to you is asking you to embrace your, what we call your spiritual self. All right, it really, really is. So know that, trust that, embrace that. I said last week that people were going to struggle with traditional beliefs and things like that. Now can you see why? Can you see how the picture unfolds as I read? So last week people would have been struggling with what to do, whether to fall back into traditions or whether to move forwards into their beliefs, new belief system. Now we are encouraged this week to do that, to embrace our belief systems in order to lose the restlessness that lies deep within, because it is at a soul level. So retail therapy, ladies and gents for that matter, is not going to cut it this week. What is going to cut it is meditating, journaling, going within, doing a creation board, something like just doing something that is extremely positive for you and your soul. And many of you watching this, just ask for a little bit more insight tonight for you guys. Got to get comfortable with change. Got to get comfortable with these new roles you're taking on, whoever you are. Got to lose that confusion energy. Got to lose that feeling of needing to be doing 100 different things, and just trust. That is how you lose the challenges. That is how you lose that feeling of being restricted, because again, what is really going on here is that you are being urged to allow yourself to be a free spirit. Whatever you do that makes you feel a free spirit, I would say to you, do more of that, because it will put you in control. Many of you are going to be really hustling hard this week to make things well in your world. Things will be better than you think, but you will be so busy hustling, you won't notice. Now, I also have opportunities and conversations about relationships being given again, and letting go of the negative ones to create space for positive new relationships. We're in Mercury retrograde. It's not the best of times to start anything deep and meaningful. We may start that way, but it's more likely to be what we call a fling. Do you remember that? Anyone remember that feeling? But yeah, so I hope that helps you. Drop me a comment. I'm just going to hang about in the group now and have a little chat with you all and see how things are going. Thanks for watching on YouTube though.